Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. Where's my script? There's my script. This show is all about the events that occurred on this date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to the sources of this For links to the sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and today I am joined by...
Protoblob.
And Miss Pam Poovy!
Pam Poovy.
Pam Poovy! Or Bitch Puddin', or Lady Death, or Bloody Kisses, however, or who is Alice, whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Alright, anyway, today is Saturn's Day, also known as Saturday, January 7th, 2023. I had a little bit of a brain fart there. I'm already trying to add things into the script here. I have one here, though. I'm going to start us off real quick. It's not in the website. At 49 BC, the Senate of Rome stated that Caesar would be declared a public enemy unless he disbanded his army. This prompted the tribunes to support him to fleets to Ravenna, where Caesar was waiting. Then we have one in 754. Pope Stephanus II arrived in Pantheon. And then 1558, French troops led by Francis, Duke of Guise, took Calais, the last continental possession of England. Wow. So, retaken by France, yep.
Did you say Duke of Guise?
G-U-I-S-E, yes. Guys.
I'm sorry, it's just a play on words. I started giggling a little there.
So that was after Jeanne d'Arc started this, or
Jeanne d'Arc, what?
Yeah, like Jeanne d'Arc started the French taking back France from England. Didn't?
Okay, yeah, because like this was the last continental, right here, last continental possession of England. So like the UK then became fully just only an island. They had nothing on the mainland. So,
Jeanne d'Arc was 1 century earlier. Never mind.
All right. Anyway, Mr. Blob, you got one here in 1566.
All right, in 1566, Antonio Michel Ghislieri is elected Pope Pius V.
Okay. And then 1584 as well, please.
In 1584, the last day of the Julian calendar in Bohemia and the Holy Roman Empire. Oh, that's a big one.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Jesus. Cheese and rice.
1598.
Yes. In 1598, Boris Godunov seizes the Russian throne on death of Theodore I.
And like a lot of these articles, as people can see on the show here, I already have on the script. And I believe at the time, because like Sohan was going through, I believe, this very source. And I think I told him several times to only post things he found interesting, and he eventually just started posting every article. So I think he found them all interesting, because everything is technically interesting, but we can't report on every article. So
yeah, remember what happened on New Year's when we tried to do that?
Well, no, we did that for just 1 year, yes. And number two, I remember February 2nd very well last year. He literally, and I mean literally, posted every single article, and then and by the time I wasn't paying attention to the length of the script, and then at one point I looked down and I saw it was 86 pages, and I'm like, hell no, we just ended up, we just ended up not doing a show that day, and that was the first time in so we went for over a month last year, and that was the first time we didn't do a show during that string.
It was just so much. I think I remember that because even I found a lot of them interesting, and I was doing that, but then I was like, you know what, I gotta I have to start to consolidate what I find interesting to what I find intriguing.
Yeah.
So if I find it intriguing, then I will post it. But I was even I was doing that for a little bit, but I wasn't doing everyone. I was like, holy buckets, this is interesting. It was mostly the death ones, though, that I was kind of going for there.
Well, I'm thinking, then why don't we, for now, forego the script from last year today? Let's have a meeting after the show, try to figure out our exact thing. So let's just go back to our normal way of doing this, which is only reading from this one website source for now.
But I find the
next figure it out.
Interesting in 1601 and 1608.
Yeah, let's go into it.
Go for it.
Yeah, Blob, you can take it. I'm gonna pass my turn, and right. I'll just do I'll do 4 when my turn comes up instead of 3.
Well, it's still Blob's turn anyway, so.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But I did my 3. But
you did your 3. Okay, so Alice, you surrender.
I surrender mine, but I'll just do 4 for the next round.
So Blob, you want me to take 1601, 1608 then?
If you want.
All right. 1601, Robert, Earl of Essex, led revolt in London against Queen Elizabeth. Ooh.
Damn.
And then 1608, fire destroyed Jamestown, Virginia. Ooh, dang.
Ouch.
Yeah. 1610, Galileo Galilei discovered the first 3 moons of Jupiter, which were Io, Europa, and Ganymede. Ooh, nice. I know those names.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Jupiter has some, isn't it Jupiter and Saturn that have some of the most intriguing moons that, orbit around them? For being gas planets, I think it's intriguing that you have these, little moons, and one of them might be livable on, possibly, I think. No, it's not.
I think one might be habitable. Maybe. Let's check that here. Are any of Jupiter's moons habitable? On Jupiter's moon Europa, a saltwater ocean exists deep beneath a thick ice shell. Now, a surprising connection between the ice shell and the Ganymede and the Greenland ice sheet on Earth has provided new insight. Europa's ocean may be habitable, according to a new study. So there might actually be life under there.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Actually, what I was thinking, I don't know if you remember, the whole show Sea Lab, where you just make, a sea lab underneath it. We drill down into it and then make a underwater habitable place in there.
Yeah, well, kind of like cool. The Abyss as well. There's a lot of movies and shows that have, Sea Lab and such, a habitation.
The Abyss was a great movie.
Essentially like a colony, but instead of building it on the surface, you're building it underwater. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a submarine, but stationary, in a way.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Blob, it's your turn again, 1611.
In 1611, we have the trial of Hungarian aristocrat Elizabeth Bathory for killing and torturing hundreds of young women, later sentenced to house arrest for the rest of her life.
Huh.
And
so she's the most prolific female serial killer?
Yeah,
but she also drank their blood.
Yeah, so So I just don't understand why she got not even a slap on the wrist. She murdered hundreds of people, drank their blood. She's a psychopath, but they just confined her to her house. No, kill her, Yeah.
They should have Joan of Arc'd her.
Yeah. Well, no, Joan of Arc later became a saint, so.
Well, she did become a saint, but yes. Well, they should have Joan of Arc'd her, the style, not saint.
Burnt at the stake.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But she was a countess, so,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, especially back then, not especially, it's still going on today, just as bad. You got money, you got wealth, you got influence, and you're above the law, apparently. So.
Xander, anyway, I think I found you a new hat.
Ooh. Anyway, let's move on up here. Mr. Blob, 1618.
Right. In 1618, Francis Bacon becomes Lord Chancellor of England.
Dang, nice.
That's definitely a hat worthy of Xander.
That is my hat right there. I want one.
Oh, we're at 1698, guys. We have a Russian Tsar, Peter the Great, departs the Netherlands for England.
Huh, alright.
He's not so bad looking. Ooh, not this guy, though. We have 1842. We have Gioacchino Rossini, cantata Sabat Mater in parentheses there premieres in Paris, so it's a music composer.
Those
You
are
missed-
quotations, not parentheses, and that's because
I'm sorry, quotations.
that's
Sorry.
because like when you talk about like a book or a play or like a work, an art piece, you're supposed to have not double quotations but a single quotation because that is a title marker. So
Yeah.
this is
You missed a lot.
I missed
Stabat Mater.
You missed a lot of interesting ones.
what? Okay, go for it, Bob.
Oh, wait, was it the balloon?
Yeah, the 1714.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Well, okay. As I said, like what I want us to do from now on is start going over stuff because like I'm gonna start going over the scripts like a lot more in depth the night before from now on. But like I like it for people to work with me. That'd be really nice. So
I think I can
so
take
that
a
way
couple.
we don't
I
have
can
moments
take
like
an
this, like
hour
oh
for
blah
my-
blah blah. We missed some. Like I don't want to miss any. I want to streamline the show. This is getting ridiculous now. So, but go
Okay.
for it, Bob.
In 1714, the typewriter was patented by Englishman Henry Mill, built years later. Probably
Nice.
the
We
typewriter and not the Mill.
We talked about this a year ago, actually.
We did. And actually, I'm probably going to repeat myself, but do you want to know why our keyboards on the computer is a key WERT, format? Why it's not ABCD, it's all randomized and crap?
I
Because
remember you telling me, but I can't remember what you
I
said.
think Blob has the answer.
it's better accessible for writing.
No. Well, maybe that might be, but that's only half the answer. Because back in the day of typewriters, everything is analog. So everything is physical. So within that amount of space, you have to have moving parts for every key. So you hit the W and that hits a thing, that moves a lever, and then it strikes, the thing on the paper to put the W on. That just carried over into the keyboard. We just never switched it. So if you look at any typewriter, it's the same format as a keyboard. We just kept the format because everybody, when they made the transition from analog to digital, when the computer age started becoming a thing in business and everything, rather than retrain them how to type, they're just like, well, like there you go.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I thought you talked about the initial button layout of the typewriter.
Well, I think it's because of the way the levers had to be placed that they found it was more suitable to place them in the way they were.
The trash can.
What?
Okay. I'm sorry, I was talking to
A golden moon.
Welcome
Well,
to the
actually,
show.
there's a balloon flight. There was a balloon flight that comes down right before the next black one. I think it's a couple down.
I see it. This
First,
one?
yep, yeah. 1785, we had the first balloon flight across the English Channel by Jean-Pierre Blanchard and John Jeffries, I should say. But yeah, it was the first balloon flight across the English Channel. So
Nice.
Yeah,
1785.
and
yeah, we talked about this I think last year too. So
Yeah, well, we talked
18
about a lot of things. Like we are now in our repeat zone. So
yep, we are in the repeat zone.
yeah, because
All right, well let's go down.
Yeah, because the Golden Moon here and we've spoken about this several times. Like and not just him, but people have asked me like, are we going to continue on? When we're done with the year, it's like, yeah, why not? Just keep it rolling on. So, like,
We
have
keep talking about like.
so
Well, and I think also we left some stuff out, and I think we've actually read a couple things that we didn't read last year
Yeah, well,
with
that's
this.
why
so
I
far,
want
so.
to. From now on, I want to start making an actual effort. Like, I'm getting more serious with this. I want to start putting in actual effort the night before and get things prepped, so that way we're no longer just like oh, we're silly. Like I want us to be a little bit more not professional, but more structured. You know what I'm saying? Like more streamlined.
Oh, absolutely.
So
anyway, let's go to 1830.
okay, there we go. All right.
The first United States Railroad station opens in Baltimore.
Oh, Maryland. Cool.
Yeah, before that it was Balti-less.
Bah! Balti less and got Baltimore. So, Balti adequate. I don't know. Then 1842 here. Oh yeah, we read that one. 1862, during the Romney campaign, Stonewall Jackson marched toward Romney, West Virginia. We made a joke about that.
Yeah,
different
Mitt-
kind of Romney
Mitt-
campaign. We're not talking about Mitt. So.
No.
Are you sure?
Well, this was several hundred years before, so
Could have been around. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, that shows you how long he's running already.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got
And
some
1890 is an interesting one.
1890, black U.S. citizen inventor William Purvis received a patent for the fountain pen. Hey, cool. That's, yeah. We also have some film and TV history here in 1894. William K.L. Dickinson captured Fred Ott's Sneeze as a motion picture at Thomas Edison's Black Maria Studio, West Orange, New Jersey. Fred Ott's Sneeze. Let me look that up here real quick. Oops. Hold on a second. Fred Ott, is it on YouTube? Oh yeah, here we go.
From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Okay. So that was the very first sneeze caught on camera.
You saw the full 5-second documentary here.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I believe it's back to you, Mr. Blob. You got a music premiere here in 1897.
All right, the Teatro Amazonas in Manaus, Brazil, holds its first performance with tenor Enrico Caruso performing.
Cool.
I'm always amazed at Enrico Caruso being like one or two generations earlier than where I would put him.
Huh. Yeah. So you think he's more recent, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
In 1903, Vincent de Indy's opera L'étranger premieres in Brussels. That probably means The Stranger.
Ah. All right.
And in 1904, Marconi Corporation establishes CQD as for the first international radio distress signal.
All right. Yeah, I've heard about CQD and SOS and such like that. Mayday, things like that.
Yeah.
So this is when CQD was established. 119 years ago. Huh.
Yeah.
And my brain's still in 2022.
Yeah, I think SOS is great because it's just 3 dots and 3 lines, and then.
Yeah. Unumas?
Oh.
Okay, I'll take it then.
1907, Clyde Fitch's play The Truth premieres in New York City. Now you know the truth.
But can I handle the truth? That's the question. We have another historic event here in 1916. In response to pressure from President Woodrow Wilson, Germany notified the U.S. State Department that it will abide by strict international rules of maritime warfare. Yeah, that didn't work. That's then they turned and they had the Schlieffen Plan with unrestricted submarine warfare.
I'm not familiar with it.
Actually, no, that was beforehand. No, let's see here, because it was a submarine that sank the Lusitania that got us into the First World War. That happened in 1914, so this is 2 years after it. Schlieffen Plan. Here we go. Prior to World War I, the Schlieffen Plan established that in case of the outbreak of war, Germany would attack France first and then Russia instead of a head-on engagement, which would lead to position warfare of inestimable length. The opponent should be enveloped and its armies attacked on the flanks and rear. So this is not what I was thinking of, so my bad.
Okay.
So anyway, going to move on up here to the Anglo-Irish Treaty in 1922, 101 years ago. The Anglo-Irish Treaty was ratified by Dáil Éireann by a 64 to 57 vote. And I believe we spoke at length about that about a week or so ago. So, yeah.
Your 100-year.
Yeah, 100-year, the OCA 1 century ago inauguration during our 10-hour live stream. So, never
You will
do that
laugh,
again. I'm still
Tyler.
tired from that.
Who is going to take this?
Oh, go for it.
All right. In 1925, the musical Big Boy with Al Jolson premieres in New York City.
I may be a big boy, but, Big Blob is the biggest of big. He's the big
Hwah.
blob. Hwah.
Big Boy.
Big fist. Oh, look at this guy. He looks so angry.
Anywho, we have 2 great ones in 1929, I see.
All right.
In Oh, I take the one in 1927 also. The commercial transatlantic telephone service inaugurated between New York and London.
All right. At that same time, there's another 27 I'd like you to read as well, if you don't mind.
All right. The Harlem Globetrotters in 1927 played their first game in Hinckley, Illinois.
Look at that.
Oh man, they go back to 1927.
Apparently. So,
Huh.
that's cool.
And in 1929, both Buck Rogers and Tarzan, the comic strips, make their first appearance.
Yeah. Buck Rogers, a sci-fi comic strip, appeared in a newspaper. And Tarzan, one of the first adventure comic strips, first appears, probably in a newspaper as well. Not sure. But at that same time, we got another historic event in 1929. Croatian nationalist movement, UTASA, founded by Ante Pavelic in exile in Italy. A Croatian fascist leader, so this is not a good thing. Huh. And this is this is during Mussolini's rise. Because yeah, he rose to power in like the early 20s, I believe. And yeah, that makes sense.
And there's a big one in 1930 that is not highlighted.
1930,
Yes.
Margaret Peary discovered francium, Fr, the last naturally occurring element to be found. Ooh, wow. That should be highlighted. Like, yeah. Speaking of Italian guy, 1935, French Foreign Minister Pierre Laval and Benito Mussolini signed the Franco-Italian agreement. Which, that didn't work out too well, because a couple years later, actually, I believe during World War II, so several years later, Italy did try to invade into France before Germany did or something, and that didn't work. Italy was trying to do something with France, and it was so pathetic that it was overlooked, because it really was like yeah, it was ridiculous. So but in 1941, the Chinese Kuomintang forces, under orders from Chiang Kai-shek, opened fire on the surrounding communist New Fourth Army at Maolin, Anhui province, killing or capturing 7,000 troops. Not enough. So, yeah.
1940.
China. What?
In 1944, the United States Air Force announces the production of the first U.S. jet fighter, the Bell P-59.
Let's take a look at that. Bell P-59. Images. Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, look at that. So that's the first jet fighter. Sleek.
This is in 44, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And look at this. Like, they actually, this was to make it look like it was still a prop plane. You know, to any enemy survey. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Air surveillance.
Yeah. They probably wonder what these huge things are over here, but they're like, oh, whatever, it's a prop plane, you know? So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In 1945, Lord Haw, William Joyce, reports total German victory in the Ardennes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
let's
that
not
totally-
get his name confused with something good. Lord Haw, it's not funny. He was a fascist politician and Nazi propagandist. So.
Yeah, and he was sentenced to death in 1945 for high treason against the United Kingdom.
Good. By the way, what do you think about my Infinity hot dog in the background?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, like.
What's up with that?
Well, I got Nitro, and I forgot, and Doom Guy reminded me that we can have custom backgrounds, and then we kind of went ham with that, and then now I just because we're the Omni Coalition, and this is an Infinity hot dog, and so that's kind of our symbol, and that's kind of the founding of us too, because remember the whole hot dog thing with Tyler's server on Secure Team 10?
No, but that's okay.
Well, there's this whole thing, he made a hot dog channel, and then that's when I discovered I have an admittedly concerning amount of hot dog memes and gifs. And then he was like, okay, this is getting crazy, maybe I should shut the server down. So then I just transferred that energy into, back then we were called Insanopaths. So this is the best background I think that could embody, the Infinity hot dog. It is the Omni Coalition incarnate. But anyway, in 1948, U.S. President Harry Truman raised taxes for the Marshall Plan to assist in rebuilding Europe after the Second World War. All right.
1948.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that the year your parents were born or something?
Yes, it was.
Oh, all right then.
Are they technically considered baby boomers? Because technically we're still in World War II. It was just a ceasefire.
Definitely baby boomers.
Yeah.
Baby
You
boomers
might-
started in 1946.
Yeah. I have a first generation.
Yeah.
You know.
First year.
You might want
Yeah.
to read the one from 1949 and 1953 also.
All right. 1949, the first photo of Genus taken at University of Southern California by Pease and Baker. Oh, genes.
Of genes? Genes.
First.
Gene, DNA.
Oh, okay.
DNA. I was like, Genesis, what?
I
What-
was just like, what, like, but like a Genesis? Like, I was confused. But
Well,
genes,
no, actually, at
genetics,
first
so-
what I thought you said, because you cut out a little bit, I thought you said tennis.
Oh,
I hope not.
well,
I was like, what? Ooh.
the other night, I told this one that I got the mail and it was just a magazine. He said a bag of beans, and I'm like, no, a magazine. Like, who the hell would
Like-
mail a
like
bag of
something you-
beans? And he was all like, well, that's why I was asking. I'm like, nobody mails beans.
So was it was it a 7.7? Was it 7.5? Or what kind of caliber magazine was it?
No,
Oh.
a paper magazine, Alice. Damn it.
Come on, I was making
not
it.
a gun magazine.
Is it a 7.76 round or what?
Oh my Christ. Anyway, what was the other year you wanted me to read? Blah blah blah.
50.
53.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1953, U.S. President Harry Truman announced U.S. development of the hydrogen bomb. Oh boy.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is big. Why is that not highlighted?
Woo!
So, wow.
That's what she said.
Damn.
That
Well-
didn't even make sense.
Speaking
Oh,
of,
wait, hang on.
Speaking of that's
Sorry,
what she
never mind.
said, Alice, it's your turn. You get to talk about the boxing cowboy.
Hang on 1 second. Like, will you scroll up just a minute before I hit the boxing cowboy? One more. Scroll up a little bit. Just a little bit more. Okay, yeah, 1950. Mental health wing of Mercy Hospital burns, kills 41 in Davenport, Iowa.
Oh, that's not good. A bunch
Killed-
of people in there probably getting electroshock therapy, so honestly, that fire probably, ended a bunch of lives that were
Okay.
getting tortured, honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and this is before, they started being more humane about it,
Yeah.
about doing ECT.
Don't forget,
At least now, when they give you ECT, they put you under and make you have a seizure. You're not conscious when they do it.
don't forget
Yeah.
back at those times, like, lobotomies was a very common practice.
Oh yes, it was. Like it's crazy. But yeah, no, I just saw that. I was like as you were scrolling, like holy crap. But all right, now I'll do the boxing one.
Alright.
All right, we got a boxing title fight today in 1955. We have the 20-year-old future world heavyweight boxing champion Floyd Patterson scores a fifth-round TKO of Willie Troy in a non-title super middleweight bout at New York's Madison Square Garden.
Nice. 20 years old and already at that place. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
Stepped up
and he was a
actually,
future heavyweight
went to the
champion
heavyweight
too.
division and won the title
Yeah.
in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It says here, future world heavyweight boxing, so this is
true.
before he did.
True.
No.
But he was
Yep,
a
I did
heavyweight
say
there.
that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh,
He's
shit.
a future world heavy. Okay, so yeah, so he might. Yeah. Okay.
And he was always considered a small heavyweight.
Yeah. Well, he is a, little looking guy.
Is that
I know too
Pops?
much
Is
about
that
Floyd
Pops?
Patterson.
I don't know. Like maybe
I
you don't
do.
know enough.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, what else do you know, good sir?
Well, we also have in 1955, we have a music history of Marian Anderson becomes the first African American to perform with the New York Metropolitan Opera, singing the role of Ulrika. Ulrika. Yeah, Ulrika in Giuseppe Verdi's Un ballo in mascara
Ah,
or mascara.
Mashira.
Not sure. Oh, I gotta go again.
All right.
I hope it's not in mascara.
1958, Gibson Guitars received a U.S. patent for their Flying V electric guitar model. eventually used by Albert Collins, Jimi Hendrix, Mark Bolan of T-Rex, Dave Davies of the Kinks, and Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. I think we
That's a
spoke
lot
about
of
that
great
yesterday.
bands. Lots of great people, lots of great musicians.
Yeah, and we did speak about this yesterday because I was like, ZZ Top uses a Flying V guitar, huh? And I remember them. They were in Back to the Future Part 2.
I wonder what was different about it to get a patent. That's not an easy deal when there's already guitars. But it's got to be something really specific.
Well, no, they invented the Flying V.
Yeah, but to get a patent, it has to be different in some way than a guitar.
Well, it is very different. Flying V guitar. Like, because of its structure, like, and it's an electric guitar.
No, I understand.
Like, it is.
I just wonder if it created a different sound or what.
Well, probably like with the addition of these knobs here, and like the way you have to hold it too. I don't know. I'm no patent expert. I'm no instrument expert.
And it looks different enough from a analog guitar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gonna have a 1959 one here. We have a U.S. gangster, Meyer Lenski, fled Cuba for the Bahamas due to the Cuban Revolution and rise of Fidel Castro. All right, a mobster and financer. So Fidel Castro, at least doing one thing good, he got rid of a mafia. So, but he became the mafia.
Yeah.
Speaking of Castro, 1959, at that same time, U.S. recognized Fidel Castro's Cuban government. So it says here, rise of Fidel Castro. So this should have been first, because this is a response to this one. So that's weird. This is ordered incorrectly.
Well, no, he could have fled first, and then we recognized him later.
But this is the same day, same year.
Oh, true.
It's the same exact time. So obviously he's just like, oh well, he's the leader. I gotta go. Like.
Well, he's already established. By the time we recognized him, they were well established and ingrained in Cuba. They were the government, no question.
Yeah, but I think this directly references this, because this is due to the Cuban Revolution and the rise of Fidel Castro, and then here at the same time, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, this could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Oh, the U.S. finally recognized him. Now I gotta go. It could be that one last, thing. I don't know, but anyway, we have an assassination attempt in 1962. It failed on Indonesian President Sukarno. He was the first president of Indonesia, and I think we've spoken about him a couple times. Like, yeah, he's been arrested and imprisoned and such. He was a revolutionary leader. So, yeah. Anyway, Mr. Blob, do you want to take 63 here?
Yes. In 1963, the rift between Cleveland Browns owner Art Modell and head coach Paul Brown reaches a boiling point, and Brown is fired.
Aye. Well,
what?
I'm just saying, well, dang, they just okay, that's it, you're fired. Like, wow.
In 1965, it's only called Twin Brothers here, but I'll take that one too, because I have some background information on that.
All right.
In 1965, it says here, twin brothers are held in custody. Yeah, that's great spelling. In London, charged with abduction and murder. It's the twins Ronald Cray and Reginald Cray. They were the foremost perpetrators of organized crime in the East End of London from the late 1950s to 1967.
Dang.
Their gang was known as The Firm, and they were involved in murder, armed robbery, arson, protection rackets, gambling, and assaults.
Jeez.
Not good people.
No. Well, glad they were.
Yeah.
They were held in custody. So happy to see that.
Yeah, they were nightclub owners and mixed with politicians and entertainers like Frank Sinatra and Judy Garland.
Oh man, the Rat Pack.
And they became celebrities themselves by that.
Well, yeah, and you rub your shoulders with enough high people, you become one yourself. So.
Yeah. And we will put a link to them in the underbar.
All right. Can you take the other 1965, the one before it, if you don't mind?
All right. In 1965, also France announces it will convert $150 million to its currency. No, of its currency to gold.
So essentially, it sounds like a government gold buyback program.
Yeah, so the French franc or whatever it
That's
was
when we
back then.
actually back currencies with gold.
Yeah. Thanks,
No,
Nixon. So, yeah, because Nixon was the final nail in the coffin in
Yeah.
taking us completely off the gold standard.
Right.
So now the value of our money is based off of itself, not anything physical or anything of any actual value. It's based off of purely the value people put into it. That's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Literally monopoly money. So, anyway.
Okay. Okay, then I'll take that. Also, in 1966, Gene Kiniski beats Lou Thesz, however you pronounce him, in St. Louis to become the NWA wrestling champion.
That's the National Wrestling Association, not to be confused with the rap group with Attitude that came out in the '90s. That's a different NWA. They're
Yeah,
a
not-
lot rough.
Not,
So
not to be confused with the NWO wrestlings. Also,
and that not to be confused with the New World Order.
well, they are called New World Order.
Oh God, different New World Order. Anyway, 1970, farmers sue Max Yasgur for $35,000 in damages caused by the Woodstock Festival. And yeah, a little thing people don't know about Woodstock is the amount of trash, and like that was held. Pardon me. That was held on actual farm grounds. Like that was somebody's actual like the fields he planted on, the grazing lands and stuff, just completely thrashed. And like for a whole, for hippies who always go around talking about we gotta save the earth, man, and she's our mother, dude. They are such a trashy people. It is absolutely like mind blowing how they can be so hypocritical. Well,
they were totally at Woodstock. They were totally unprepared for that kind of a crowd.
Yeah.
Just totally unprepared.
In 1972, the first one is interesting.
All right. Oh. 1972, discovery of the first black hole, Cygnus X1 in the constellation Cygnus, reported in a paper in Nature by Louis Webster and Paul Murden. Cool. And this was back still when black holes were a theory. So we discovered a theoretical, enigma in space, and it wasn't until recently when they were actually proven without a doubt that they are real. So
that's kind of a major event
And-
right there.
yeah, it is.
And in 1973, there's also one interesting entry about that starts with Mark.
1973, Mark Essex's mass shooting came to an end after he was shot by police more than 200 times on the roof of New Orleans Holiday Inn Hotel. He killed 9 people, including 5 policemen. So they unloaded on it. The first thing that popped into my mind was Alex Murphy from RoboCop just getting riddled. So, Jesus, just 200 times, bro. People are reloading multiple times. How many bullets do you need to put in a guy? I know he killed your friend, but come on, bullets are expensive, So
Yeah.
If you want revenge, fine, but do it fiscally responsible, come on. Hey, everything costs money at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? Blow your your McDonald's budget on killing somebody? No, you gotta eat.
I didn't know you were a bean counter.
Well, my blood from Grandpa Bill.
There you go.
You know the joke I'm making.
Yeah, I know.
I'm piss poor with money, but I gotta be good somewhere, So
You're fiscally responsible. Great.
yes, I learned that well from somebody I know. 1980, U.S. President Jimmy Carter authorized legislation of bailout of the Chrysler Corporation with a $1.5 billion loan. Yep, and they probably still fired, all those people, and just like what happened with GM or Ford got bailed out, and then they
No, this one actually worked. Ayatollah, actually. Ayatollah, what was his name?
Ayatollah.
Not Ayatollah. Anyways, the CEO of
Chrysler at the time.
actually paid him back early, and they became really productive, and it really worked well.
Well, that's a rarity.
What the hell was his name? Ayatollah or something?
Hold on a second. Chrysler Corporation CEO 1980. Let's see here. For CEO 1980. Lee Iacocca.
Iacocca.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah,
What a
he
name.
pulled off, he's a big old hero.
Well, dang, cool. All right.
Yeah.
What's up?
I just said yes.
Okay. 1980, we got an album release. The Real Records released The Pretenders, the debut album of The Pretenders in the UK. And we spoke about The Pretenders a while ago, and everybody was surprised and never heard about them. But how many times do I have to say I'm culturally ignorant to, like...
Well, they had a lot of brass and pocket in the middle of the road. Don't get me wrong.
Anyway, I think it's your turn. You get to talk about this guy again.
All right. After this the triple pun, we get to 1982. The Islanders' Brian Trottier's 10th career hat trick.
Cool.
And in 1983, President Reagan ends United States arms embargo against Guatemala.
All right.
You know, he's that guy from the Secret Service movies in the 1930s.
Yeah, which, by the way, can you repeat the actual story? Not sure if Loon here has heard about it.
I haven't.
Yeah, so there was this 9-year-old kid named John Parr, and he was brought to a movie theater by his dad in 1939 and watched one of the movies by Ronald Reagan and decided to become a Secret Service agent.
Oh.
And then later he became the bodyguard of Ronald Reagan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Ronald Reagan inspired one of his own bodyguards to be there with him.
To go into that.
And
Yeah.
when the assassination attempt happened, he essentially saved Reagan's life.
So say that again. When the assassination happened, what did he do?
He saved Reagan's life.
When the assassination attempt happened, he was a bodyguard, one of the Secret Service agents, to save Reagan.
Either tucked him into the limo or took a bullet or something.
Something. So,
Yeah.
but dude, like that, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Like, and things like that happen so often. It's remarkable, but it doesn't make it any less awesome.
You know what Reagan said to the doctors when they had him in emergency and they're getting ready to operate on him? He looked at them and said, "I hope you guys are all Republicans."
Oh God. Yeah, well, nowadays that really actually can be a true. No, I'm not even joking. Like nowadays, like with everything connected, like somebody like a doctor or whatever, be like, oh, this guy voted for this guy. Let's just take our time with him, and then. I mean, actions like that will be praised by the media and stuff like that. Like
we weren't like that back then.
Well,
So.
we are like that now, and that really, that's why I avoid hospitals. I don't want to be, prescribed something that's going to hurt me just because somebody wants to feel spiteful because they don't like the way I think, and they get away with it. They get praised. They get people throw parades for people like that these days. It's absolutely insane. So, but anyway, let's move on up to 18.
Also, his name was Jerry Parr, of course, not John Parr. John Parr is the singer.
Okay. 1985, revival of Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical The King and I, starring Yui Brynner, opened at Broadway Theater in New York City for 191 performances. That's not long for that show.
Yul Brynner, actually, is the way it's pronounced.
Okay. Well, I can't pronounce everything perfectly.
No, I'm just doing the record.
Thank you. 1987, Indian bowler Kapil Dev took his 300th Test wicket at 28, the youngest.
Cricket.
Yep.
They had a ban cricket from any listing whatsoever. We don't understand it. It's English and that's all it is.
Yep.
Words mixed in together.
Yep. 1989, actually 2 years later, 1989, Akihito became the 125th emperor of Japan after the death of his father, Hirohito. So, Hirohito, okay, then there was Hirohito. So there's Hirohito, Hirohito, and now Akihito. So, cool. Sorry that his dad passed, but still, now you're the emperor, so. Mr. Blob, you get to talk about somebody here in 1991?
I think that's a mistake in the writing. It actually is Hirohito.
Oh, it is Hirohito?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Because Hirohito was allowed to remain the emperor of Japan after the Second World War. Okay, so Hirohito was the father of Akihito. All right.
Yeah, and that led to the Riva era, or however you pronounce it.
Revival?
No, Riva, Reiwa. The Japanese have the eras named after the emperors. They can name their era what it is called.
Oh, their
And-
legacy?
No, the era that they rule in.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Anyway, in 1991, Saddam Hussein prepares his troops for what he says will be a long, violent war against the United States.
Well, it wasn't
Well,
long,
and-
but it was violent. So,
Well,
Oh well,
overall, so we
in
have
the
to
end,
follow.
in 2003, he lost that war.
well, I mean, like this was during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and then later on in the early 2000s there was Operation Enduring Freedom after 9/11. That
Yeah, but essentially that was an armistice, not a peace,
Yeah.
probably.
well, like
Longevity was trying to stabilize the country under our will.
yeah, we all remember what happened on the highway. The highway of death when they were trying to pull out of Kuwait or whatever. And, yeah. Anyway, you get another cricket one.
Yes. In 1992, we have the last day of Test cricket for Pakistan's Imran Khan.
Khan.
Cricket.
Yes, and after that, his career dropped off sadly very much, and he became Prime Minister of Pakistan.
Well, I don't think that's a sad thing. Like, you go from cricket, turn into a prime minister of Pakistan. That's pretty interesting. So,
Yeah, that's a great social fall.
huh.
At the same day in 1992, Tom Seaver and Rollie Fingers elected to baseball's Hall of Fame.
What a name, Rolly Fingers. I never heard of that. Like,
Yeah, that.
how do you roll your fingers? Like, weird. I'm just imagining like the fingers spinning on an axis like a tire, like the whole thing like a sausage, like rotating fingers. That sounds weird.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's your turn.
Oh, here we go.
got some sports history here. 1994, U.S. Female Figure Skating Championship was won by Tanya Harding. I've heard that name, but other
Is
than
that the one that she hit the other one in the knee to get her out of competition?
probably,
If it was that year or not, I'm sure not.
I don't know. Yeah, and I would otherwise look it up, but I'm actually I'm thinking when we get to 2000, we're gonna end the show today. As if it's the split. But I am really tired. I'm really hungry, and as I said, I want to start getting stuff more streamlined.
Okay.
So, because
Yeah.
this past week, every history show has been an hour to 2 hours.
Wow.
And then an hour for the news show,
Yeah.
and then they have Oka.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a little burnt out, to be honest. But I want to pull back, and then still keep doing things. I just want to get things more streamlined. You know what I'm saying?
Need to impact it into an hour
Yeah.
show. Done.
Yeah. So, we have the Hopman Cup in 1995, the Hopman Cup tennis in Perth. Boris Becker defeated Andriy Medvedev of the Ukraine 6-3, 6-7, 6-3 for a 2-0 win, and Germany's second title. Nice.
Never heard of
Yeah.
Hopman Cup.
Neither have I. And then we got a theatrical finale of 1995, limited run of Patrick Stewart's one-man show, A Christmas Carol. We spoke about this. Based on Charles Dickens' novel, closed at Richard Rogers Theater in New York City after 18 performances. So I remember we talked about when they started doing this. So this went on for a couple of weeks. This was a solo show, so he did everything. A Christmas Carol is a major show.
Yeah.
And to do that by one, Patrick Stewart, man, you're great.
I'll tell you what, a one-man show, if you pull it off, is awesome.
Well, I think
If you don't, it's horrible.
Well, I think he did. It's Patrick
Yeah,
Stewart.
obviously he did.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have used someone like him in Star Trek.
yeah. One of my favorite pictures of all time. There's a picture of what's his face who played Captain Kirk.
James Tiberius Kirk. That
Yes.
was.
What was the actor's name? Why can't I remember it?
Captain Kirk's name?
No, the actor. The guy who played Captain Kirk.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Oh,
this. Well, okay, the Trekkies are they want to shoot me right now.
William
Like,
Shatner. Bill Shatner. William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Shatner,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
He's like 90 something now.
Yeah, he's like 96, 98. But like, remember when he went up with the guy from Amazon? He went up into orbit.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm not sure if this is real because the internet, does things. But there's a picture of him holding a piece of paper that says "Suck it, Picard." because Patrick Stewart has not been into space, but William Shatner has, and they both played space captains for the same show, just different generations.
I never heard that one before.
Yeah, so it's really funny.
Anywho, in 1996, a musical featuring works of George and Ira Gershwin, "Crazy for You," closes at the Schubert Theater in New York City after 1,622 performances, winning 3 Tony Awards.
Ah, nice. That's a lot of performances. Holy crap.
Yes, and we have a guy who looks like Slobodan Milosevic. In 1990, no, honestly,
He does,
in 1990. In 1997, Newt Gingrich narrowed. Oh my God, I cannot talk. Newt
the muffin
Gingrich
mouth?
recently re-elected as Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Yeah, Newt Gingrich.
That's the last time we ever had a balanced budget in this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
And you said, who did he look like?
A bit like Slobodan Milosevic.
Let me look this up here. Slobodan Milosevic. Kinda, yeah.
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 That one picture he does.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, there is some resemblance.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe he was one of the body doubles. I don't know.
Maybe.
Also, in 1998, former White House intern Monica Lewinsky signs affidavit denying she had an affair with President Bill Clinton.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah. So we will never know what went on in the oral office.
Oh my God.
She gave an oral report.
Bro, you're getting it from both sides. Hey, the Diesel. 1998 Los Angeles Lakers center Shaquille O'Neal blocked 3 shots in a 114-102 win over Milwaukee to bring his career total to 1,002. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1999, President Bill Clinton's impeachment trial began in the U.S. Senate after the House voted to impeach him for lying about his affair with Monica Lewinsky. So, literally 1 year after she signed the affidavit saying that it didn't happen, it's like 1 year later, it happened.
Yeah.
It's not only has it been established it happened, but we are in the middle of actual court. So, whoops. And I'm going to close out the show for this day.
I would like to take one in 2022 before we close.
Okay. Go for it.
Because last year in 2022 we had the first successful transplant of a pig's heart into a human when genetically modified pig's heart inserted into a 53-year-old man in Baltimore, Maryland.
Now that's very dangerous because you're genetically modifying things, you're tampering with DNA and RNA, and now you're taking a heart from a different species and putting it into a human. That can have some extreme adverse effects.
Yeah, I find it interesting because Nostradamus supposedly talked about.
We did that.
Sorry, what do you say, Blob?
Oh yeah, Nostradamus supposedly talked about half pig, half human somewhere. So.
Well, let's not forget what's his face kept warning us about Man Bear Pig. So. He's
Man Bear Pig.
Man Bear Pig. He's super serial about it too,
I'm super serial.
I'm super serial. So,
I totally got my election robbed by Bush. But then again, I don't really think it was.
what was that guy's name again?
Al Gore.
Al Gore. Yeah, we're talking about Al Gore. Man
That's
Bear
why I
Pig
think
being an allegory for climate change and all that crap. Back in the day, everybody was making fun of it and all that stuff. So, but anyway, I'm going to close the show out here. That shall conclude us. What were you saying, Blob?
We end our show with Gore.
With Al Gore, yeah. Anyway, For your dose of Fast Events Daily, we stream every day at 10. You know what? Hold on. Let me find my script here because I'm totally like kermuffled. That concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Fast Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 on the East Coast.
7 p.m. German time.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am Ao Xander.
I'm Protoblob.
I am, don't call me late for dinner.
Well, I have a forever hot dog behind me, so dinner's not a problem. Anyway,
Oh,
until you
not
catch
gonna
us
eat the
tomorrow,
forever
don't
hot
forget to
dog.
look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!